Kenobi's corner, Kenobi's corner, Kenobi's corner.
2016, man.
2016.
Womp, womp, womp.
2016. The sound of 2016.
Actually, I really enjoyed that sound for a long time.
It's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But it's just starting to be used, I think, now a lot.
Are you sure? Because I
Maybe
worked
that
at a
was-
bar and a nightclub, and that sound was heavily prevalent 6 years ago.
Yeah, but it's like mainstream now. It's not just at bars and clubs or in music.
Oh, it's on
It's
people's
like
phones.
everywhere.
And homes.
In homes.
Yeah. Over the holidays,
Yeah.
like when they brought the turkey out or all the food and stuff, were your grandparents like, womp, womp, womp?
Nope. That'd be funny, though.
And they were like, okay, that's when it's officially dead. Like,
Done.
when your grandparents start using it. All right, welcome to Kenobi's Corner. I'm Eric, and this is John.
Hola.
Hola.
Not hola.
¿Cómo estás? We are here, as always, every weekend to fill your lives with news about comic books, fantasy, movies, everything that we find interesting, video games, and Star Wars. So much Star Wars news.
I don't know if we fill anybody's alive with news rather than weird banter between us for our random thoughts and opinions.
Okay, take two. Welcome to Kenobi's Corner. We're here to talk to you about weird
too late.
banter.
You already put it out there.
the banter that we have between us about Star Wars and Star Wars like news.
Dude, so much. Okay, anyway.
Did you just call me nude? One.
Yeah.
Is it because of my weird sweatpants combo today that I'm wearing?
You were like...
sweatpants, gray sweater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were gray sweatpants spectacular today.
Yeah, I was totally in grayscale. That's for sure. Well, we have a slow news week. Obviously, we had watched Rogue One. One of us just saw Rogue One for the second time in 2 days.
That's what happens.
Spoiler alert. It wasn't me. It was Jonathan.
It's spoiler alert for everything else because, okay, so this week we'll talk about what we're going to talk about. A little bit of Power Rangers news, Walking Dead finale, possibly.
Yes.
If Eric is up for the task.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finale, if we can remember what it happened.
On Moss.
Westworld finale, and Star Wars Rogue One.
Yes.
So, plenty of spoilers for each one of those. So, if you don't want to listen to those spoilers, like, please...
Go watch them,
come
back.
Yes, like, watch them. Especially when it comes to Westworld, because I think the spoilers in that one in particular, they take away from the value of the show if you know what the heck's going to happen in that one. And... Star Wars, just because we love it so much and we want you guys to enjoy it with fresh eyes for the first time ever. So,
oh yeah, the same way we did.
Yeah,
I'm super excited to talk about it.
Yes,
we haven't talked about it since we saw it. We watched it.
You jetted out of the theater.
I had to jet because I actually had to work the next day. So at 7 a.m. and
whatever, man. That's excuses.
I'm just saying. You didn't have to work,
and then
the only thing you had to do the next day was see the movie again. So
I want to go get my haircut too. So
Oh, I didn't notice you were wearing a ball cap, and you have long hair. So
just like 3 inches gone.
Hey.
Also, I guess when you have long hair, it really doesn't matter at that point.
I'm sorry.
1 to 3
you're wearing
inches,
a ball
big
cap.
deal.
Enough hair talk.
Anyway,
let's get into
Let's go.
Let's get into the thick of it. Power Rangers,
dude.
I know you love them.
I do love them, but I have no idea because I didn't read through this article.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay. So this is a little bit of an insight, and I'm kind of hesitant to, now that I'm reading it more, to talk about it more. But I think because it's one of the few things we have to talk about, let's just throw it out there. So the Rap did an interview with one of the director. I'm sorry. After that, it's kind of like it's showing a little bit of information about some of the plot points and kind of what they know so far, because that's exactly what the article's titled. But some of the things in there they talk about are super spoiler heavy as well. So actually, this whole damn thing is going to be nothing but spoilers. So
yeah, if everything turns out to be true and accurate,
right? Exactly. So possible spoilers. Here's what it is for Power Rangers. Rita Repulsa, 65 million years old. Wasn't that in the title of the original? I want to feel like she said like 65 million years ago, yada yada yada. You know.
Oh man, possibly, man. I don't remember.
I know that was a while back.
Yeah,
we'll throw the original theme song in there.
Asking me to think back to like middle school.
I know, and you've been grown up since then.
Yeah,
and you've become drinking age, so that doesn't help.
Got rid of everything.
Yeah. She's 65 million years old. She used to be the original Green Ranger, or maybe not the original, but a Green Ranger back then. So the yin to Zordon's yang, because Zordon used to be the Red Ranger millions of years ago. It doesn't say like if they were in tandem or if they worked together, but kind of one of the major, well, if not the major plot point is Goldar, the, I don't know, half flying creature, half gargoyle, half mostly made of gold dude, was blown up in like one of the original skirmishes on Earth, and the Power Rangers have 71 hours to stop Rita from putting him back together, pretty much. So,
I mean, you got to figure if they're gonna put Goldar in the movie, he's gonna show up at one point or another. Whether it's at the beginning being destroyed or at the end being put back together.
Yeah.
If this is where it's going.
Yeah, I have a feeling. What if, oh my gosh, what if it's just like a terrible scene of her finding all the pieces and then it's him like that one steam of smoke blows up right in front of him. You know how they always used to do back on the show? Like there would be like a few jets of smoke and then they grow all huge. And it's like exact verbatim, like, dude, or like a shot-for-shot remake of that scene.
That'd be funny. As long as they put like the cardboard buildings in the background, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
that would not be amazing. Actually.
No, not at all. You don't think so?
Leave that off.
I don't know, man. You had a chance to kind of look it over. What do you think,
dude? I mean, everything looks cool, dude. I just don't want to. I don't want to set like improper expectations for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm enjoying everything that's coming up. I don't want to put my mind into a state where like, okay, this is what's going to happen. Like, let's see it play out. I want to be more like, okay, like this might be a possibility of what happens, and whatever they give me, like, let's check it out for the value of what that is.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's cool, man. Like, I'm excited for it. I don't know. Like I've said millions of times before, there's not a whole lot they can do with this movie that would really be like, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like, unless it's just really, really, really poorly done and executed, like, I don't really care. Like, if it has plot holes, like, who gives a damn? It's a freaking movie about teenagers with alien superpowers who can fight, like, in giant robots against a threat that's coming into the world.
Yeah, there's not going to... You can barely tell this story without it being... It's super based in fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ground this story. You can try to, but it's...
You can make it, and like kind of what they've done, you can make it a little more gritty. You know, you can make it a little more realistic, where it would be plausible in a world where this kind of stuff existed.
Yeah.
But can't really make it real.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, and I'm totally fine with that. Like, let's cool. Give me a Power Ranger who's 65 million years old. Like,
yeah.
I don't care. Let's do it. Can we bring back putties though? Because I'm looking at one of those pictures down that has putties, and
yeah, man, I think they're bringing them back,
dude. They haven't shown them yet, so
yeah. Well, they haven't showed a lot yet. They haven't showed the Zords yet. We know they're in there. I mean, we got the toy Zords that are coming out, but you know,
yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, dude. I like that. I really like that toy of them all assembled together. So. That's really, really cool.
If they because they released the Voltron, the little pop figure, would you get a Zord pop figure if it all came out?
Yeah, I think I would.
You think so?
Zord, I would.
Right on.
Anyway,
cool.
Let's Power Ranger news, because it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. We're digging in too deep on that already. Okay, so the finals, the mid-season finals.
Mid-season finals. Oh my god! Why do you got to put it that way, man?
Well, Okay, let's do Walking Dead first because it is.
It is what it is. And you know what? You want to know why I put it first, Eric?
Why?
Because I haven't watched it.
Okay.
So
you had homework, John.
No, you're gonna spoil it for me because I really have not cared that much to watch it. In all honesty, like, and I mean, I'm just gonna say it here, man.
No, you're in a safe space. Go ahead, say it.
Like, I've been watching Westworld again because that to me is more interesting right now than Walking Dead. So just throw it out there. So I don't care if you spoil it for me, Eric, because I'm to the point where I really don't care anymore.
All right, man. Well, that's
or
fine.
not. I don't care enough to watch it all the time.
Okay. Well, this has really been like a ramp up. It's been building since the beginning of the season till now. It's just been a precursor to the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it just opened up, with Glenn and Abraham getting taken out and just building to now. It has just been. It started so strong. And then it's just been really like everybody's reaction, just trying to get over it, and then trying to, it's Rick just really just losing his, like, realizing that he has no longer control over the group and can't do it,
Can't do anything.
He can't do anything. That's right. He's outgunned. He's outmanned. He's just outled. But in certain retrospects, I mean, the core group was kind of Negan's group. I mean,
yeah.
They didn't take it to that extreme, but they were just pretty much doing the same thing. Like, they're going out, killing who they needed to kill just to kind of make it. They became really rough and gruff and, just whatever. But
I mean, like, you could see it starting from, like, the last season. Yeah, the second half of last season, right? Where they kind of go in and kill everybody at the outpost.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like, they've had it.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're not going to get pushed around anymore. We're done. But once Rick's core was really kind of tested and, and they got trapped, I think he just realized, like, oh, I can't do anything. Like, I'm not any bigger. I'm not any better. I just, I got to stop, to protect my family and his lady Michonne.
Yeah.
So, So the season finale or the mid-season finale was him out with the poor man's Justin Timberlake. They were what's his name? Aaron.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They were out getting supplies for Negan before he gets back, but Negan returns and he's there and hanging out at Rick's house and he's playing with Judith and Carl. Carl's making him lunch, in his house, and it's just. He's just really, like, just trying to get under Rick's skin at that point. Just, like, playing with his kids. And
I mean, that was messed up.
Yeah. So, during that time, the previous lady, her son Spencer, gets back from going out collecting stuff, and everybody's there. He gets all cleaned up, and he's going to talk to Negan about, taking Rick out, becoming the leader of the group, because he feels like... His mom was a leader. His dad was a leader. He should be a leader. They were the leader of Alexandria before Rick got there and messed everything up, and he needs to do it. Oh, man, it was, just trying to, and it falls really the beats in the season and the mid-season finale were pretty much almost shot for shot of the comic. Spencer does this in the comic. Negan, talks to him and was like, "So wait, you want me to do your dirty work for you and kill Rick while he's gone?" Trying to save this city, and he's like, man, that takes guts, but I don't think you have any guts. You're a real gutless guy. He kind of like throws that on him, and then while he tells him that, he takes out his knife and slices his gut open, like slices him across the stomach, and all of his insides fall out, and he's like, oh no, never mind. There, you have guts. There they are. And so,
dude.
It's a pretty rough scene.
Yeah.
And then when he does that, he says, like, is anybody? He's like, I want somebody to come over here and clean this up. And if you remember the previous episode, Eugene made a bullet for Rosita.
Yeah.
And when nobody steps up, he's like, all right, well, I guess Lucille's getting hungry again or something like that. So Negan starts, like, approaching the group, and Rosita pulls out her gun and shoots Negan.
Oh.
So she shoots Negan, but she misses and hits Lucille instead.
Oh.
And she only has one bullet.
Yeah, that was it.
And that was it. So because of that, Negan tells one of his followers, all right, they tackle Rosita, they put her on the ground, they like slice her face, and they said, okay, well, kill somebody. And so she turns around and kills like what's her name? The lady with the glasses. The one that slaps him. The one that's in charge of all the food and stuff.
Oh, yes, yeah, okay, yeah. The one that
Olivia.
that slapped
Olivia,
him,
yeah.
that slapped him.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you advanced on her.
Yes.
Made a proposition.
Yeah. So they kill Olivia. They kill Spencer. Yeah. And then like kind of like at that point, Rick shows up and was like, what the hell? We had a deal.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on? And he's like, no, I'm doing you a favor. This guy wanted to take over. I killed him for you. So you don't have to worry about him anymore.
Oh my God.
And Olivia, well, you know, that wasn't my call, but you know, it had to be done, you know?
Yeah, dude.
And then also Daryl came back. Daryl escaped. Daryl escaped the compound. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
So yeah, Daryl escaped the compound. He's back in the mix.
What do you think, man? I mean, overall. Like,
I know that was a lot, but I think the second part of the season is going to be better. It could be wrapping up like this part. I don't know. I thought they were going to drag this part out a lot more, and I'm glad they're not because I think it needs to progress.
Me too.
It needs to progress. It cannot be another season 2, which I know was your favorite season, which was on the farm. Because it's
them doing daily stuff.
Yeah. It's just like, let's fix the water. Let's drag the zombie out of the well, you know. But it really needed a ramp up. So I'm hoping it goes into all out war, and all the groups meet together, and they just need to like start attacking again, and then move on to the big baddies, which they kind of showed a little bit of. Like there's like this wandering figure that's kind of watching them a little bit, but they never show their face, so we'll see who it is. Yeah, I think overall it's moving. This last season is hopefully picking up a bigger pace, or this last episode is the start of it picking up pace into the next season, and hopefully next season will be nothing but episodes that'll blow your mind, like they usually do. So
like they have done in the past.
Not
usually do. Because they don't usually do that.
Okay, that's true. Okay, like part B of seasons and seasons past they've done. Yeah. You know, usually that's the big. That's what they all work towards. I don't know. I don't know.
That's kind of the thing, man. It's like kind of why I've been disinterested, because like all the stuff you said about them being like all the stuff they've done in the past, or like stuff they've done in the past, is kind of the problem like that I think the show has.
I know.
Because they just keep going back to doing that same dumb like mundane, boring stuff, man. Like that's kind of why I've lost interest, because we got the promise of like the kingdom. Yeah, you know, like the whole second episode was like set over there, and I was like, okay, cool, like we're gonna get some new characters, some new developments, and like different things going on, and then they like haven't touched it since. Yeah, you know, and then we have like the whole episode at the I can't remember the name of the town that's on the
hilltop.
No, the one that
the lady town.
Yes,
the lady town. Yeah.
What's the name of that town?
Lady Town.
Shoreside?
The town with all the ladies?
Seaside? I don't remember.
I don't know.
The town with all the ladies. You know? Like, I mean,
I say Lady Town. There's nothing but ladies.
But those episodes were cool because they were interesting and different and something that we hadn't seen, you know? But, I mean, like, what was this, 9 episodes?
8
episodes, 6 of which were like the same old crap over and over again. You know, them getting tore down by a new enemy that they have to find a way to kind of defeat. Yeah. You know? So I mean, and cool. It's, you know, granted, it's what's happened before. Like, but to me, it's the same as the governor. Like what they did in what was that, season 3, 4?
3, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, that's cool. I know. The episode sounds interesting, and like I said, I haven't given up on the show enough that I'm not gonna watch it. I'm just not watching it right now. You enjoyed the episode?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. Well, and I didn't even mention it, which was probably like the biggest thing, is just Rick's ready to go to war now. Like before, he wasn't. Broken. He was broken. Michonne was kind of like on a side quest since the last episode. Yeah. But now she came back and she was like, hey, I had to go out on my own to do this, but I'm back. We need to fight. And Rick's like, I totally agree. let's get everybody together.
Dude.
We need to do it. So
yeah, man, all
he
out
goes
war.
to the hilltop. Him and Daryl have this bro union, and they hug it out a little too long, maybe.
Oh man, they're buddies.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
And I'm just saying, we've bro hugged before, but never like let me grab the back of your neck and look at your face type situation. It just seems. I understand they have a deep bond. They've killed people together. Hey,
Well,
maybe that's what happens when you kill people together.
When you kill people together, or you know what, Eric, you've never been in a torture camp before, so I don't know what that would look like when you're coming back.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I want to put you in that situation instead of myself.
Immediately threw
I'm not
me to the
coming back.
torture camp situation. You're like, hey, I don't know how you would do over there.
I wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
Is pretty much why you would be the one who'd have to
Oh
go.
yeah.
Because if not, we'd never reunite. So.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. Oh,
But
man.
yeah, it's some kind of crazy. I dug it though. I'm excited to see the next season or the next part of this season, and hopefully it ramps up to something great and they don't drag it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
excited.
If it's cool, man, I'll keep watching it. I really hope it gets better because I would love to be more invested in it, especially since I'm watching it anyway.
Yeah,
But I mean, they just need to step it up just a little bit, man. Just give me a little bit more.
yeah.
Well, cool, man. Let's move on. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We got a lot to cover.
Oh shit!
Not a ton of time.
Nah, no kidding. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Moss. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What did you think of the whole first half of the season, really? Like, was it season 4?
Yeah. I really didn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 2 and 3. I'm gonna be honest and throw it out there.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I just couldn't
All
get
the
into
Inhuman
it.
stuff you didn't.
Inhuman stuff started coming up. Yeah, it was interesting, but I think because of like the disconnectedness it got from the MCU, it was trying to be like integrated, and it just seemed like they were just trying really hard to bring it all together, but they couldn't.
Really?
And I think we saw that, man. Like, we saw that as hard as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tried to be like, no, we're all part of the same thing. Like, we're cleaning up Thor's shit when he messed up England.
Yeah.
You know? Can't you see that? Like, it just... And then all the movies started... When the movies would come out, they wouldn't even mention them. They don't even know Coulson's alive. Or if they
Dude.
do, maybe they don't even care, even though he was the deciding factor of bringing everybody together. They couldn't give two shits now. So,
Well, dude, he's... Not everybody knows, man.
and then S.H.I.E.L.D. is a thing. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not a thing. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s kind of a thing with a new dude. I don't
Dude.
know. So, but this last season really brought me back. I don't know. I really enjoyed this season. I think the Ghost Rider, although a little weird, a couple scenes I could have done without. It was computer graphics, the CGI stuff. Brain kind of broke down there for a second.
Just thinking about CGI.
I know, just thinking about. Oh man, we'll talk about CGI dislikes later. Yeah, but I think overall super strong first half of the season for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ended on a dark note, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm more excited for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than I am The Walking Dead next season.
Damn.
Boom.
Dude, I like the second and third seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot.
But you don't like this season.
A lot. No, this season, it's good. I was really, really, really skeptical. I mean, if you go back and play the episodes from when they started first releasing promos for this episode, I mean, I've been skeptical since then,
Yeah,
dude. Like,
sure.
it just did not look good what they were trying to do with Ghost Rider. And, dude, I've been proven extremely wrong, and I'm happy for that because, dude, it's been really good, man. Like, his story's been good. The character grew on me. Like, the first time he showed up on screen, I was like, who's this short little guy on screen? Like, what are we doing here? Like, can you get him, like, high-top boots?
Yeah.
Like, boost him up a couple of inches? Like, what's going on?
Little Mexican guy coming out of nowhere. Little Robbie Reyes.
Little Robbie Reyes. But just because of, like, who Ghost Rider has been in the past and, you know, Johnny Blaze and, I mean, even with Nick Cage playing him, he's still, like, an imposing figure on screen. Like, just because Nick Cage is tall.
Yeah, you know what? I just can't think about him playing Ghost Rider without thinking about like all the weird stories that came out of him playing Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
like all the
really?
yeah. Like, did you ever hear like nobody asked him? Like, he really got into character when he was playing him, and So most of it, of course, he's CGI. When he was actually Ghost Rider, but while he was Ghost Rider and playing those parts, he like dressed like his whole face. He had it painted like he had his face painted up like in a weird way, and he would really get into the other actors' faces when he was playing.
Really?
So those looks of terror in their face when Ghost Rider grabs him and throws him up against the wall are serious looks of terror because they don't know where he's going to go with the character.
That's hilarious. I mean, at least he was imposing the fear of like of hell into them, I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But dude, I don't know, man. Like, I really like the way they did it for this guy. Like, even though he's not as an imposing figure on screen, like, even though he's supposed to be super intimidating, it didn't feel like that way at first because of who the actor was playing him. But he really, really grew on me by the end. Like, it was really believable. I guess it's because I got really used to, it being an imposing figure overall, like just the way he looks to start off with. And this guy playing him really did not have that. But, I mean, it got better, man. And I really, really, really enjoyed this season. Gabriel Luna is the guy playing him. I'm excited for the next season. I'm excited with what they did so far. I want to say, dude, that they really would have to split off, like, the Ghost Rider thing, man. I really hope he gets his own show. Because I don't think he can be part of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. team for super long. I don't think they can afford to do it super long and still have other stories like going along with it. But, I mean, maybe they can break it off into his own thing. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they can keep him on there?
I don't know. They kind of did something. Well, they did that. He's still in the other universe or the other side or the upside down
dimension or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah. So I mean, they got a good plot hole or a plot point or I don't even know what it is. They got a good scenario. They can make him disappear for as long as they pretty much want until he decides to come back or somebody finds him randomly. So they essentially have already written him out. But yeah. Who knows if anybody's really trying to get him back, if he's going to continue his vengeance tour,
Yeah, for sure.
So who knows?
I mean, he made that pact with I don't even know what the hell it is at this point.
Vengeance.
The spirit of vengeance?
Yeah. So who knows, man? I mean, I'm excited to see where they go with it.
I mean, it's cool, man. I'm excited whatever they think of doing or whatever they can go with. I mean, they're already starting to get into the storyline for life model decoys. Like in all this, like with Ada and all the Android stuff. So I don't know if they can easily go that route with it and what they would do on that end of it. But yeah, dude, I'm super excited, man. They've built us a pretty cool world, man. They have like the whole spiritual realm with the Darkhold and Ghost Rider and all this stuff, and then you have all the other aspects of it with like the Inhumans and stuff. And it's a pretty expansive world now, and they've done a good job of not kind of putting things everywhere and kind of keeping the story like aligned, I guess. So I'm excited, man. They have a lot of options that they can do. They keep giving us the kind of stuff that they've been giving us so far. I mean, I'm liking it, man. I don't know, and I know you fell off for a couple seasons, but dude, I really, really, really like those seasons. I love what they did with the Inhumans. I love the way they developed the plot and kept things going without being any of the mainline Inhumans and kind of coming up with stories with all these side characters and different things. And that was really, really cool, man. I've enjoyed that a lot. The whole other world and going to, I don't know if it was like the home planet of the Kree, in the Kree area, and what they did with guy who died now, Brett Dalton, who's playing I don't know. Anyway, I missed that guy on the show because he was really good. I know somebody else who really, really misses that guy on the show because she's just in love with the guy, with Brett Dalton.
Who's this?
Our friend. I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to throw her under the bus here.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, like, I don't know, man. To me, all the seasons have been, like, damn good, and this one is like, right on there with it. So, I'm really excited for the rest of it. I mean, I know Ghost Rider's on the other side. If he comes back, awesome, because they've used him really well. If he doesn't come back, then, I mean, they have a bunch of stuff they can pull from to keep going with, like, a good story for the next half of the season. So, I'm excited, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, we're both on board. What about Westworld, dude?
Yeah, it was okay.
You shut your mouth.
Oh, man. So I know there's a lot of people that are still watching it.
Yeah.
And are still getting into it. So definitely, if you haven't seen the finale, don't
If you haven't watched any
watch
of
that.
Westworld,
Come on
we're gonna
back.
draw spoilers, I'm sure, for the whole damn season on here. Because that show, oh my goodness. Anyway, let's get into it. Spoilers right off the bat.
Spoilers.
I've been rewatching the show
Yes.
because it's that good. And Brandy stopped watching it like after the first episode. It was too much for her. She
Yep.
couldn't do it. It was a lot of killing, senseless killing of what appears to be human on human, even though we know it's androids.
Yeah.
Like, or robots or whatever the hell you want to call them. You know, so, and she doesn't really like that stuff. She doesn't like a whole lot. I mean, there was a ton of like sexual violence even, you know, people doing whatever the hell they wanted. And, you know, it was a little hard for her to watch. Understandable. That doesn't bother me a whole lot. I was like, all right, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
it's fictional and I can separate it very easily, which is probably not a great thing, but I can do it. And I watched it and I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. I talked to Brandy afterwards, like once the whole thing finished. I was like, look, it really is a plot element to help like establish what this world is. It gets less and less as the season goes on, even though there's still a lot of killing. After rewatching some of these episodes, I'm like, man, I was really lying about that.
Yeah.
But like, but the plot is really what hooks you in and is really great. Well, she agreed to keep watching it, like to go back, and so I started back up with her again, even though I had watched all the way through to the end. Like, and half of the fun is watching her reactions to all this stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, first of all, the first half of the season is really, really, really just a ton of like just build up.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot going on, and I can understand why people, because I've definitely heard of people that like slowed down or almost completely stopped or dropped it like totally with the first half of the season just because they didn't find anything really interesting about it. And dude, it isn't until the second half of the season that it really, really starts picking up.
Yep.
And one of the last things I watched or rewatched and watched with Brandy was the reveal of spoilers.
The reveal of spoilers.
Of Bernard. The reveal of spoilers with Bernard.
Yeah.
Dude, so yeah, dude, when I'm telling you, what her look on her face described exactly what I felt at the time when they showed that Bernard was one of the hosts. Dude, so freaking awesome. I'm still looking forward to her watching the rest of the episodes, because she doesn't know yet that Bernard is Arnold also, like modeled after Arnold, and given similar backstory to him and stuff like that. So, dude, after watching the final episode, you know, seeing kind of how things played out in the timeline, seeing things like we got the reveal of how Arnold basically killed himself.
Yeah.
What else did we get? We got the reveal of Wyatt.
Yeah. The multiple timelines. Well, that kind of wrapped up at the very end. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
you get confirmation on that because
yeah.
I think it's like that was one of the early on spoilers that people figured out like right away without.
yeah. And I know other people saw it, and I was like, man, I just can't see it. Like, I don't see it yet, and maybe that was just me.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, as soon as I read the spoiler, like back in season or episode 3 or 4, like or pretty early on, like I read that headline. It was like, oh, the man in the black hat is William, you know, and I was like, what the hell, man? Like,
Yeah.
why would you put that in like the freaking like title of the article? You know,
I didn't read that.
I was so
that reveal was
Dude.
really, really like what? You know,
As
for me.
soon as I read the headline, I was like, I can see it. I can already see it. Like that is what it's gonna be.
Well, once it's in your mind, man.
Yeah,
it's hard
dude,
to
and
get
it
out of
kind
there.
of sucked because it spoiled that reveal for me. But with the confirmation, getting the confirmation and knowing that's what it was, and then getting the full story, man, like of how it was and why he was and what they were doing, and then replaying those images, I did not realize that the replaying of those images does happen pretty much throughout the show.
Yeah.
Like those images exist, you just don't realize what they are. And it's kind of nuts, dude. It's really nuts, man. Like it's almost like the entire old timeline where William and Logan are in the park back, 30 years before, like when they first showed up there, like the man in the black hat first showed up. It seems like that entire story is played through the memory of Dolores.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where it flashes back into the future, you know, so like how is she going to know what the future is when she's in the past? So it's got to be, it's future her remembering those things and then kind of having flashes of stuff that then continue on down the timeline.
Yeah, and that's what, man, and that's an amazing like plot device, but also, you know, and super trippy that, you know, oh, they have memories, but their memories are just like exactly what they look like. So when we see it through their eyes,
we're seeing it like super crystal clear, like everything, like verbatim of what happened. Yeah, dude, it was really awesome, and the fact that they played on that element, man, like I really, really enjoyed that part of it. Even them saying it out loud, like you can assume or think of it or come up with it, but the fact that they were like, oh well, your memories play back verbatim basically, where ours are kind of foggy. As a human, your memories are kind of foggy and distant, but you see it as if it's happening right then and there. And dude, that was really cool, man. And then I told people this from pretty early on. Not that I'm trying to pat myself on the back or anything like that, but
humble brag.
Humble brag. Oh man, I'm trying not to. But I've been telling people, man, like I really think that they're purposely trying to confuse you. Like the showrunners are purposely trying to confuse you, throw you different scenes, throw you things out of order, throw you different flashbacks that you don't fully understand what the hell's going on, for you to feel like a host would feel. Not getting a clear picture of what the hell's going on because you haven't personally figured it out yet. But dude, man, the show's amazing. I really, really love this show. I don't know if I could have said that after the first few episodes, like the first maybe 5 episodes. I probably would have been like, it's a really good show. Like I'm really interested in watching it. But dude, like once you start getting towards those back episodes, man, it's so, so, so good. What'd you think, man? I know you were trying to figure out something about those letters there at the end, if you remember. We were talking about that before, like when they're trying to do their escape. What do you think overall?
Oh yeah, like the other worlds that could be possible. We haven't. Gabby's watching it right now again, and I think she already passed up that scene where they're heading out because she's fallen asleep maybe like 3 or 4 times the last episode, and so we're rewatching it, and she's like, "No, wait," and I was like, "Wait a minute, we watched this already." So it's kind of like watching the show, but in real life. Like replaying it out because we're going back and I can't remember if my memories are my actual memories or if it's when I saw the show originally. So, and I had a super spoiler for it too. Like it was like in episode 7, I think I had told her like about Bernard and everything and how he had choked out what's her name, Elsie, yeah. And she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Oh, damn it!"
Yeah, it doesn't get revealed till later.
Yeah. I was like, "Damn it!" So I was like, "Oh, stuff. Keep watching." But yeah, the other world that they could be possibly going to. I didn't see that there was an SW. Maybe because I was looking at it weird or whatever. But
to me, it was like really clear SW. So
because I was definitely looking because when they started going and going into the different levels, I was like, oh, okay, they're going to show maybe Future World or they're going to show maybe something else. But there was definitely Samurai World, and he was like, it's a long story, or what did he tell her? Something along those lines.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah. But I mean, that's got to be a huge facility, and I think it's made. There have been so many comparisons made to Lost, especially because J.J. Abrams attached, of the types of reveals and how like it's a slow burn for each of the reveals that it gives you, and I don't think we're ever going to get the entire story. I'm hoping that they don't go that way of Lost and be like, I know there's a lot of questions, but we're never going to touch on them ever again.
Dude, I don't think they could do that. I think they have to talk about like everything that they're touching on. Just because of the type of show it is.
You think so? Explain the fucking polar bear, man, from Lost.
Well, not Lost, man. I'm talking about this show.
I know.
Like,
That was a major point. Like everybody's like, "What the hell's a polar bear doing in the middle of the on this tropical island?"
Well, they touched on that even in Lost. I mean, it was like way down the line. Maybe you didn't watch it. Maybe you forgot.
I could have forgotten.
Like, but they do touch on that in Lost. But I mean, even in this, I'm sure they could leave stuff unexplained if they really wanted to. But I don't see it happening with how the show is going and what they're trying to do with it. Or what it seems like they're trying to do with it. Dude, man, I really, really like this show. I mean, and to go on in the future, like, it's going to be tough. Like, how are they going to do it? Like, what are they... There's so many different things they can touch on and kind of go from here. Like, I don't know if the rest of the show or if it continues on and when they have their season 2, because I guess that is going to happen. Is it going to be something? I don't think it's going to be the same, I guess. Like, I don't think there's going to be like the secrecy and mystery of like trying to find out what the hell's going on or seeing it from the perspective of the host and trying to put things together. I think it would be more straightforward in like a battle or fight to like between the host and humans to try to prove consciousness, I guess, or show that they can be really lifelike, and maybe even trying to like get some of those out of there, make them free. Like maybe have this giant battle in these other worlds. Like, you know, who knows? Maybe they stomp out all the people in Westworld and move on to the next one for SW, whatever SW stands for. I know people have said Samurai World, possibly.
It makes sense. What else would it be?
I have no idea.
Nothing. No guesses.
Nothing else.
They're all in samurai attire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It makes sense, John.
It does make sense.
But maybe it's a 5.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a 5, but...
Okay, well then, it's Samurai World.
But, I mean, who knows, dude? I don't know. Either way, I'm excited for it. I'm going to watch the show, whatever happens with it, to give it just to continue on with it, man, just because it's so freaking good. I love how it plays on that dynamic of, like, consciousness, and is this real, is this not? Is this something that... Are these hosts alive, or are they just programmed to be that way? Because even in the last episode, man, like, to me, you're left with that question of, are they doing things out of their own consciousness, or are they programmed to do this still? Like, is this still just programming? But dude, really, really good. Do you think the man in the black hat is alive still?
Yeah. I think that this is exactly what he was waiting for.
Yeah.
And this is something that, what's Anthony Hopkins' name?
Ford.
This is what he was definitely meaning. Like when he met him out right after he killed Dolores and was just like, well, to cue the waterworks, you know.
Yeah.
After he kills Dolores, is like, oh, I think you're gonna really enjoy this next narrative.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he was doing, is he was giving the hosts a level of consciousness and a level of danger that he has never experienced before, because that's what he wants. That's what the Man in Black wanted the entire time, was not for them to live by their rules, but just to, like, he's like, it's no fun if they're programmed to lose. Yeah. And that's what he was looking for.
But he was still treating it as a game.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think up until that point, he was still treating it as a game. And one of the things that I guess I kind of want to see with it is like them being for certain more alive, because dude, the whole time that she starts kind of figuring things out and becomes kind of like conscious, like Dolores, even then she's playing into the hands of the narrative for the new narrative, right? Like up until the point where they're like dying on the beach, when they make it to where the desert meets the sea or whatever, or the mountains meet the sea, at like on the ocean side, it really seems like they're trying to make choices out of their own consciousness, but really it's almost like, dude, they weren't even like, it's still nothing. It's still not like them being conscious of making their own decisions. They were still programmed to be that way.
That's true.
You know? So like, is it, I mean, it definitely does seem like, okay, maybe they are now conscious. Maybe they are now starting to come to life, but there's still like, they just threw for a bunch of questions out whether it was actually that or not.
Yeah.
Just because of the way like things played out there in the end, like in the very, very end.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that Arnold's Host remake was the one that was doing the adjustments, or was it Ford making those adjustments, or was it Arnold's code from
way back in the day
that was making all the changes?
It might have been the code from way back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
I think Ford had a lot to do with it, though, too.
He knew he was on his way out. That was his kind of last hurrah.
Yeah.
This is my gift to you. Boom.
Yeah.
So where would season 2 go? Where would it continue on of the hosts living, or would it take place in a time of which the other worlds are being developed? Because if this isn't the only world, if Westworld isn't the only world, and this is a huge facility, is Ford the only person that's leading Westworld, or is Westworld his favorite world out of all the worlds that were created? What is it, John?
I guess maybe it's just the first, you know. Maybe like I mean, that's where he stayed because that was the original. Maybe everything else is just based off of like things that they can do in Westworld. I have no idea, man. I don't know. I don't know where they would take that. I would assume just because they have like all the old clips and everything is that it began in Westworld. Maybe everything else is just in development for what it was. What do you think is the data they were trying to collect too? I mean, for me, it almost clearly says that it's just social interaction. They're picking up on cues of people.
Yeah.
For the parent company, because they consistently say they're not interested in just tourists having a good time.
Yeah.
They're interested in more than that. So do you think it is? What do you think? It's AI, like artificial intelligence, or do you think it's like the human interaction that's going on in there?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think that the park has picked up on things that people really wanted, and they're using it as a ploy to get people to come to the park and spend money. $40,000 a day? That's ridiculous. That's Radam Dig,
Yeah, but I mean, who knows, dude? Maybe they are like. Maybe they're trying to amass an army, like if they can really hurt people, if they can really be conscious or make their own decisions, like in a good way. Maybe they're interested in that. I don't know, dude. It's like, it's kind of crazy. They leave you with a good amount of questions at the end.
Yeah.
For sure.
Who knows? So much speculation for season 2. No one really knows what the hell's going on. So it could really go anywhere. It can really go anywhere. It can be a prequel, it could be a sequel, it could be a prequel to the sequel.
A prequel?
A prequel. I don't know.
It could be anything.
It really could.
You know what, dude? And I mean, it's kind of sad now that I think about it, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Say it.
Like freaking Michael Crichton, dude.
Oh yeah, you can't.
The guy's been dead for a few years, and he's still bringing like excellent stories to the world, like based off of his ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, you can name like a ton of stuff. Like, I think most people can name a ton of stuff that, like, based off of his stuff, like the way he viewed the world and the way he brought those certain things to life in his books and screenplays. And awesome, man. I'm really glad they took this off of his idea and kind of brought it to life even more. Have you watched the preview to the original Westworld, or have you ever seen the original Westworld?
Yeah. We kind of talked about it the last time. I saw bits and pieces of it. But Yul Brynner, he plays Pharaoh in the Ten Commandments, and he always freaked me out. So when I was a kid, so I never really watched it. But I did. I haven't seen the original trailer or the original.
Dude, I watched the original trailer the other day just because I was like, dude, the way they used to do trailers is actually kind of hilarious. Like, and it felt like a giveaway most of the movie too. I was like, what is this, man? But it was kind of funny. But I kind of want to watch the original movie just to see where it differs and how it goes. But yeah, dude, they had a lot of interesting stuff in there, man. And you can tell it really is based off of his idea of what could be and where all this goes. And man, with a semblance of control and how much control they really can possibly have in certain situations. So it's pretty cool.
I was going to sneeze really hard. I was trying to stop it. I felt it like building. I was like, good. It's going to happen. No. Okay.
Don't let it.
Okay.
Anyway, on to the thing, because we're like way over time already.
Super over time. Just cut out all the shit in the beginning about Walking Dead.
Anyway, moving on.
Just say it was a good show. While we liked it in the day, season 2 part is going to be better than season 1 part of the season.
Done.
And then we're good to go.
I'm going to cut out the whole thing now and just leave that little summary for yourself.
Okay, there we go.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
You can. It's okay. It's all in. It's only in after go.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the big thing we really want to talk about.
Dude.
Christmas office party. Let's talk about it, John. No, wait.
Damn.
No, man. Star Wars.
Star Wars?
A Star Wars.
A Star Wars.
I think we have to say it like that. Diego Luna making a huge appearance in this movie. And man, damn it. Every cast member in this movie had an amazing, like, everything just super well done. Like, damn it. The whole thing was good. Yes. And I'm mad that you saw it twice already, because I really want to see it again.
So, okay, first of all, non-spoilery.
Okay.
Like, dude, exactly, man. The characters, the casting, everything super well done. I love the way the script went. Been more spoilers on that later.
Yep.
And I really like the way things developed.
Yeah.
Like throughout the story. And I've already said this once, and I'm going to coin this phrase. For it being called Star Wars, had the right amount of war in it.
Yes.
Because it's not called Star Politics. It's not called Star Romance.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And dude,
watch this child develop.
watch this child develop. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. But dude, I mean, it really brought like the war part out of it, dude. And Gareth Edwards, dude, really, really, really good at doing some more stuff. And I mean, they've already said that. I think that's part of the reason he was like brought on as the director for this.
Yeah.
But dude, really good, man. Like he did it really, really well and spot on to some of the stuff that really could bring out more elements in a good way.
Yeah. I think the action scenes of Godzilla, what he did in there, were really good. And the only thing that worried me about this is that the other things, like it was called a Godzilla movie, we didn't see a whole lot of Godzilla in it. So I was like, well, damn, it's called Star Wars. Are we gonna see a lot of Star Wars in this? Like, is it gonna be like a?
It was called Rogue One, and we got a lot of roguing. So.
Yes, we got rogued up. It was it was just good. Story. I think the second half really ramped up, and the last quarter of the movie, nothing but action, like action packed, like just continues on to the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
And the last sequence, damn it, that was a damn good last sequence,
dude. Yes.
Like it was. I don't even want to. We'll talk about it later.
Yes.
But like
okay.
right now, okay. So that's,
one other thing. What is there anything you didn't like before we get into spoilers?
okay. Oh yeah, no, for sure. It was
Without spoiling.
It was a great movie. But the things that I didn't like. We've come a long way with CGI. There are a couple characters in there. One that looks amazing. They did it really, really well. They did it well, but you can definitely tell CGI-ish. They kind of look plasticky. And then the very last character that you see looks almost comic-y, I feel. Like,
yeah.
And we can talk about who that is later. I think the very beginning, there was a lot of, like, here's this planet, here's this planet. And it was maybe a lot of jumping around at the beginning. So I feel like to the uninitiated, it might have been a little too much. But other than that, those are like really my only two critiques. Like I think,
you know what? And I think, like, and I kind of hear what you're saying. I think my complaint about with that is more that it could have been done just a slightly different way. They could have focused a little more on what it was at that location rather than the location's name.
Yeah.
You know, because it really brings a good aspect to it, but it's not as important at what planet it's on. It's more important what that location is.
Yeah.
And you really didn't need that. And it's great to know that it's an expansive universe, but they really focus on more of the planet name rather than what the location was and facilitated as. You know, so and they kind of did do some of that, like in the title cards, I guess, for each one of those planets whenever they went somewhere.
Yeah.
But they didn't necessarily have to. They could have, I guess, spoken that a little bit more too. So you really had to pay attention to the planet name and what it was and where it was and what was going on to see everything that happened there. But I mean that to me isn't too bad. You just got to know. You got to be willing to accept that Star Wars is a huge universe and each location is probably on a different planet rather than just a different city somewhere.
Yep.
But yeah, dude.
Anything you didn't like, man?
Same thing.
Yeah.
So the CGI character that's in there, it takes you out of it for a second.
Yeah.
You know, in both instances, because there's two CGI characters, and in both instances, it just takes you out of it for a minute.
Yeah.
Just because of the things you know, and you know how everything else. If you're familiar with Star Wars at all, then you're like, oh, okay, well, they had to do this. It felt like they had to do that, just because to pay homage to certain things. And that might be the other thing, is that like it might have been a little too much doing some fan servicey type stuff where they're kind of just paying homage and respect to the old movies rather than kind of establishing their own narrative within this universe, which is fine. Most of it was okay, but there's some of it where it's like, you don't really need to do that. Like why do it? But I mean, either way, even with that, like that, those are minor flaws in it, in my opinion. Everything else is really good.
Yeah.
Let's get into spoilers.
I think overall scope of everything, like it's so huge. Like it really, like you really get the sense, and that's what Gareth Edwards really did well. And you really get a sense of how large everything is, from just the Death Star, and you got that in the trailers. Like just the scope of everything was just huge. And we can talk about some of the huger scenes here in a minute, but a really amazing job.
The way he did the perspective on everything.
Yes.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Really, 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 really well done.
Super good.
He has a good vision of scope.
Very much. Very, very much.
Well, cool. Spoilers. Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
Go ahead.
Spoilers.
Spoil it up.
Everybody's dead.
That is a major spoiler.
Yeah. Well, you kind of know that because, and people talked about it before, was like, well, maybe they're in the background or we haven't seen them yet or yada, yada. Yeah, no, you don't see anybody again except for Mon Mothma and C-3PO and R2-D2 who make a brief appearance. And Princess Leia, of course, at the very end. So,
yeah.
I mean, other than that, it's... everybody's dead.
Yeah. What did you think about that? How did you feel about that?
I think it was when we watched it, Gabby was like, "No, wait. So they just die? Did those people just die?" Like,
yeah.
Like she kept asking me, like, "No, they can't be dead. Also, like, did they die too? Like, what? Like,
oh my goodness,
they're all dying." Super crazy. I liked it. You knew it was a doom story from go. It's just like anything else. Watching the Titanic, or it's
gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. The perfect storm. Cause you know that the main characters are gonna die. I don't know why I just chose 2 ship movies, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, damn it, really, really good. Yeah, and I think. The 2 characters that we were talking about were definitely Grand Moff Tarkin. His CGI performance, although sounded very cool, looked like he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good, but you can definitely tell it's just a plasticky kind of glow to him.
I think they did it, but I think they did it. They were trying to do it, and Sean said it first. And I'm going to give him credit for that but I completely agree that it just looks like they're trying to match a little bit of how it looked on Krennic's face at that point. Mm. So Krennic also had it's a shiny room, So they're trying to. It felt like they were trying to match the tone of it, but it just ended up looking a little more fake than I think it should have. My complaint with it is not really the look of it; it's just that we're not at the point yet where you can completely fool somebody with it. Yeah, it's CGI is not that great yet. It's gotten damn good.
Yeah, but not there.
It's not realistic yet. It's if you're trying to mix in CGI characters with actual characters, you can easily still point out who's CGI and who's real.
For sure.
And then knowing the fact that guy is dead.
Yeah. For sure.
There's no way that and it's been so long, you can't fake that. And to me that kind of it wasn't that bad. It just throws you out of the movie for a minute. When he first comes on screen, it's are they going to play a trick? Is it just kind of him talking? You're going to hear his voice and then that's it? But he develops into a major part of the plot for what's going on with Krennic and his part of the story, So it's not like they just did a glimpse of it and then boom, that's it, it's done. It's that they involved that character in a major way. And while most of the scenes are really good and really well done and he blends in with everything else, it isn't until you get over the shock value that it's you're okay with that portion of it.
Yeah.
From having watched the movie twice.
You jerk.
The second time around, I was a lot more okay with it, and it doesn't throw me off as much. Because it's okay, he was CGI, he's built as a different character in it, but totally fine. I was totally okay with it and just bought the narrative itself for the narrative's sake. Not what the hell is this CGI guy doing in here? Mm-hmm. I would have... I don't know if he really needed to be the biggest part of that plot point. Maybe they could have left it until later on. But I felt like Krennic needed some motivation to go do some of those other things that he was doing. So, I don't understand why they didn't do it with Vader or somebody else where they could have easily done it with.
Easily could have been with Vader.
Yeah.
Easily could have been with Vader.
Yeah. Agreed.
Damn it. Yeah. So, scope. Okay, so when they blew up the Jeddah... The what's the city called? Jeddah City.
Yeah, that's what it is. Jeddah is the name of the city.
Yeah. When they blew up the city, just how it started off, it was super silent in the background, as she's hearing the story of her father and what he had to do as Jin was listening to the hologram of her father, and what, how he had to leave her and all this other stuff, and just what he had to do to make it into the in the empire, and you just see like Forrest Whitaker like taking in the explosion, and just, man, it's such a super impactful scene. I really like that scene.
Already, because of what the movie is, I tend to get like a little more emotional than normal. Like, it's because like, oh my god, it's Star Wars. Like, and the fact that it's that. But dude, seeing like that scene, along with a couple of other ones, like really got me, dude. I was like, I'm sitting there like on the verge of tears, like, oh man, it's like her father. Yeah, she's crying. Yeah, I want to cry.
Yeah, no, Gabby was definitely like, well, because now we have Lily. She's like, man, that she's like, I don't care about any of these movies, but she's like, that kind of got me, like,
right? It gets you, man. It's like it's impactful on a very human level and stuff that people can relate with. Like, dude, what if you didn't get to talk to your dad, and all of a sudden you think he's this bad guy, and you don't know what's going on, and there's all these rumors around it, and then here he is, like, telling you that he loves you, and it doesn't matter what anybody else has said. Like, I'm trying to help out still. This is what's going on, and I'm doing it all for you. Like, that's freaking ridiculous, dude. Yep. It was good. It was really well done. Yeah. Like, the scene itself was really well done. And I love that they kind of played that, like, exactly what you're talking about, man. Leaving that audio there and not having, like, the big sound of, like, the laser powering up or the Death Star powering up with the cannon and, the impact on the city. Like, almost completely silent until you hear the rumble of it coming closer to them. Like, that was damn good, man. Like, oh, so good. Yeah. And then to show it, like, exactly like what we've been talking about, like the scope of everything that you see it. Like, I mean, it shows it from space. Like, you see it from different angles, like how big and massive this destruction just was for, like, what the heck is it called? They fire one.
I know what you're talking about. Yes. I like, he adjusts the level, and he's like, we're just making a statement.
One. Like, just do one, and then like boom, and then it's like gone. Yeah. Dude, really, 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 really good, man. Yeah. I'm really surprised that I had a couple of people who had shorter roles than I thought they were going to. Like, just because of all the hype and that they've talked about it. I mean, Forrest Whitaker, understandable, because he hasn't been part of, like, I guess, like, the press junket, like, being in front of all these people and doing all these interviews and stuff like that. When he was going to be in the movie, I just didn't realize how small of a role he would have. I mean, it's a major role, I guess, but just a smaller amount of screen time.
Did his character play a more major role in the other shows and stuff?
I don't think so, no. He's always been just a minor character. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, like the fact that his screen time was very low. But, I mean, he still did a damn good job, man. And I think they might have cut a bunch of his scenes out because scenes from the first previews and stuff like that, the first trailers that came out. He definitely has a couple more scenes, and he's got a few more lines. So who knows how much of it they actually cut, and maybe probably because of time, I'm sure. Yeah. Like, to keep the movie flowing and going, and so it's not like 3 hours long.
And definitely
like
Star
this
Wars
episode is going to be.
No, go ahead.
No, the other thing is, like, Mads Mikkelsen, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I figured he'd be alive for a little longer, maybe have a little bit more to do with the plot, but taken out pretty early, man. Like, I mean, as far as, like, the amount of scenes that he got and stuff, so.
I think it was, and it has to do with some of the pace as well, of, like, how quickly it was just building up. I was trying to think of Forrest Whitaker's name. I forgot. Saw Gerrera. Yeah. Some of the things that they gave nods to, Blue Milk, right in the very beginning. That shot.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Dude.
What's that character's name that they run into in Jeddah? Ball chin guy?
I have no idea what his name is. Yeah. Dengar? Might be Dengar. I don't remember. I think it's Dengar. Yeah. Like the bounty hunter, basically. Yeah. With his friend, Pig Nose. I don't know what his name is either. Eventually goes to get his arm cut off.
Yeah, which is crazy because, they make it out. They got to make it out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do they give good nods to? Well, C-3PO.
C-3PO and R2-D2 are on there.
Hanging out. I know that there's a lot in there just kind of going through each and trying to, each scene and just trying to, like, match it up for the rest of for A New Hope. But, man, there was a lot.
Well, one of the things, dude, yeah, there's a lot of little nods and Easter eggs and stuff like that, and I don't know if we have time to go over them and if we can find all of them even, or there's a few that I caught watching it the second time around that I think I hadn't really noticed the first time or could make out like what they were saying or what they were talking about, but there's quite a few little things in there, which is really cool, dude. Freaking Alan Tudyk as K2SO.
Oh my god,
dude, that was just the right amount of comedy, and then giving it all to a character who like was gonna be just that, like you knew that was gonna be his role, and that's what he's doing.
Yes, very much so,
dude. And I don't think they could have cast anybody better to deliver those dry like lines, like just play it completely serious, but being completely funny what he's saying, you know. Like, so freaking good, man. Like, it's one of my favorite lines, like, ever. Like, when he's like, it seems like he's kind of having an emotional moment. He's like, I'll support you. Like, he's talking to Jen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and she just came out of the council meeting. All the rebels are like, or there's that small group of rebels who are going to back her and go on to do the fighting and try to get everybody, or try to get the plans for the Death Star. And he's like, I'll support you. And it's like, and then there's a moment of like, and then like, he's like, because Cassian said I had to.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, but then then they go on to this death at the end. Like,
oh man.
Why does Alan Tudyk always have to take one in the chest? I don't get it, man. Yeah. It's messed up. We need to stop doing that. Poor guy, man. He just needs to live for once. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
And I think he's kind of been typecasted, man. He was another space driver, you know?
I'm sure it's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Because of the comic relief, he's probably one of my favorite characters, man. Everybody did just a damn good job, man. It's hard to like pick
just one
person out of the group.
Yeah. Diego Luna again did a great job. It was like you couldn't see where his allegiances lie from the very beginning of like, okay, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna side with Jen? Is it like, where's he gonna go? Like,
yeah.
And you can see kind of like his struggle with that throughout the movie, which is crazy, which is great. Felicity Jones, of course, did a great job. Damn it.
All the fighting, all the action.
Donnie Yen, dude. That man played the blind priest.
Dude.
I am with the Force is with me.
Yeah. Dude.
Damn it.
So good, dude. And you know what? Everybody did a good job of like, or I mean, I guess it's not necessarily just the actors, but the script overall. Mm-hmm. Like, does a really good job of grounding this in like human interactions, human emotion. It gets you invested in some of these people, like even more than you should, because of how small amount of time you've known them. Yeah. You know, they really immediately start throwing story in there. They immediately start establishing who these people are. They make you care for them in a way like that you feel invested and you want to be part of this journey with them without doing a whole lot on screen. Like, you don't really get a whole lot, but the story and the script and the value of it is, man, like they're all doing it for a cause, and you can really see it like playing out and wanting to be a part of that, and dude, because you know of where it ends up going, I guess, in the end, and hopefully most everybody who watched this and is listening now has seen A New Hope, and kind of like the rest of the Star Wars movies that continue on after that. But the fact that they got to do something with that, like, really, really, really cool.
With those few words, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So let's talk about the last scene, how it ends, the two.
Well, before getting to that last scene, to come full circle with it with everybody else, I really like the fact that they all died.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it kind of sucks that we won't ever see these characters again, but dude, that's what happens sometimes in war. Like all these people like gave their life for a cause, and they're all dead now.
Yeah.
Like, it's not one of those things where it's like a typical happy-go-lucky, everybody makes it out okay, and nobody had any consequences for what happened. Like, there was consequences, and those who were part of this rebellion, like, ended up dying. Yeah. They gave their life for something, and I think it had a lot more impact because of that, like, with the story overall. So, I mean, I think that was really, really cool, and I love that they weren't, like, all found some magical way of escaping, so that was really cool. So, but then to move on, like right after that, immediately.
Yeah. So they use the Corvette to push the stalled out Death Star. the Star Destroyer into the other one and crash into the planet. That scene was pretty awesome.
Oh, you just...
Yeah, I just like that scene.
Okay.
It's so huge. Like
I was like, where's he going with this?
Yeah, no. Like I thought that it was gonna blow up the shield, and then it was gonna crash on top of them. Like I thought that was the scene that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But no, luckily they didn't. They just got blown up.
A different way.
Got blown up a different way.
You have to use the Death Star again, man. Like,
Yeah. That was cool. I thought they were gonna have a moment. I thought it was gonna go to the romantic side, kiss, blow up, but no, they kept it like, no, we don't even make out. Like it is what it is. Like I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Hey, good job. We had a great mission, but whoa, hold on there.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this type of commitment. And then boom.
Oh man.
Yeah. But
dude, that was good. Dude, one of my favorite scenes is like one that I've been waiting, I feel like, years and years and years for. Mm-hmm. And that's Darth Vader being ultimate Darth Vader.
Ultivator?
Ultivator. Dude, when he comes down that corridor.
Oh my god.
So like they're about to get away with these plans.
Yeah.
Like, and then all goes dark.
Yeah.
Oh man, and like the build up to that moment where it's like everybody's panicking. It's like, okay, let's try to get away. Like, and then you know Darth Vader's coming because he just said like, let's get an infiltration crew like going.
Yeah.
And then like you hear the sounds, goes pitch black, and then like boom, lightsaber light up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude! I got like chills.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, finally! Like this whole movie, I was waiting for that, and like even way before, like to see a good action for Darth Vader, like him being like wrecking shop basically.
Yeah.
Well, and dude, he wrecked shop.
Dude, it was that scene, man. I would watch it if like I really thought that was going to be it for him. Like cuz on the trailers, like what they showed, they didn't even show a couple of things from the trailers that they had for him. Like I don't think they showed like him with the red map background or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or there was a part where Jen says, "I rebel." Like, she doesn't say that in the movie.
Yeah.
But I really thought that was going to be it. And they were going to be like, oh, okay, they got away. And, they're going to go give it to Princess Leia and all this other stuff. But, man, when that scene starts up,
dude,
damn it.
It's so good, dude.
I was going to ask you, since you saw it twice, one of the first appearances of him when when they're on that planet, of his castle.
Yeah.
It looked kind of like he was getting dunked or something in a fluid, or he was getting raised out of a fluid or something, kind of Westworld style. Do you know what that was?
It should be like a Bacta tank, like the healing tanks that they used, what Luke was in after he got cut up by
the
Wampa.
Cool.
So, but I think that's all it is. It's just like a healing tank. I don't know why.
Well, maybe just to kind of like...
He's just self-preservation since he's all shot to crap anyway, like all the time. So, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know exactly why, but yeah, dude, that's all it was.
Okay, that's cool. I'd want to see that again just to kind of see like what's all going on. It was a real quick moment. It was like but a few seconds, but...
Yeah. I think that's all it was. Just like it's cool. A healing tank for preservation, it seems like.
Yeah. So, so once after he wrecks shop, he...
They get the plans away.
Really.
The Carillion Corvette gets away.
Yeah.
Or starts going away.
And then they show Princess Leia's on there.
Yeah.
Really quickly. It gives us hope. And boom, that's it. But man, she looks super plasticky. I feel like maybe
I don't
because
know if it was plasticky.
But okay, it was too shiny, I think.
I don't even know if it was that, dude.
Yeah,
I think it was just...
Say it.
I think... This is going to sound really messed up. But I think just Carrie Fisher overall, like especially back in the day, she had like her face is not like, it's a little of an odd shape, you know? And to recreate that like in the computer and to bring it to life again, like it just looked a little weird, man. And I don't know if it necessarily fit the body of, I guess, whoever they got to be
maybe
the body double for it.
But you know what, that's the way, but that's kind of like, she really did kind of look like that.
Right,
like,
exactly. Yeah, like that's kind of true to who like Carrie Fisher was at that point in time. So, but it just makes it look, since you know it's fake, it makes it look even more fake.
Yeah,
it just exaggerates that. So I don't know, man. Like I could have done without it. Maybe as soon as cut it as soon as they're entering You know?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he comes in with the plans, like, to the door.
Yeah, with her
see the
turned
dress
around.
and everything. Like, you know who it is. Like, that's good enough.
Yeah. But they went there,
I
man.
mean, but it's at the same time, like, I can't fault them for showing it. I mean, you kind of have to at that point. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't great, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it really does butt up right up against A New Hope.
Yeah, and you have to kind of do it at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to show these people at all, like, you're almost obligated to, like, CGI them in because, like, it's meant to be right butted up against episode 4. Like, you can't get around that. So, I don't know. Anyway, like, even though it ended on that note where I was kind of like, oh, damn it. Like, I guess I was able to forgive that right away to really feel like, man, this is a damn good movie. Like, really, really good. With a couple of people that I went with, like, I've already said that this is probably one of their favorite Star Wars movies already. Like, out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like, they like this one that much. And it's just because of some of those action sequences, man. Like, some of those action sequences, the characters, the way everything develops. Like, getting to see Darth Vader really be Darth Vader at his peak.
Yeah.
Like, so good. Like,
Yeah.
really damn good. And I'm glad it came out. I'm glad I enjoyed it. I'm glad I got tickets to go see it twice really early on because that was really worth it. And are you going to watch it? Are you going to try to go watch it again?
I want to see it again, and I want to see it in IMAX. I definitely do.
Dude, I don't know if IMAX is... I don't know. I'm kind of over IMAX, really.
Well, because
for some stuff.
Because you got to see... what is it?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange in IMAX.
That was worth it.
Okay, but I don't even remember the last IMAX movie that I saw. I don't even remember.
You don't remember?
I have a feeling it was Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol because they showed Batman The Dark Knight Rises at the very beginning, like the first 10 minutes.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That was the last movie I saw in IMAX.
Yeah. I don't know. Originally I had bought tickets to go see this in 3D, and then ended up like selling those off. So maybe go watch it in 3D to see if there's any difference in value, but... I mean, I don't know, man. I wish there was more theaters here in San Antonio that had laser projection. Because laser projection would be pretty cool to see this in, I think, just because it's the wave of the future, man. I don't know. Even then, I want to go see it a third time.
Yeah.
Hopefully 3D laser projection, but...
Oh, wow.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what ends up happening because there's not a whole lot of time, man. There's a whole bunch of other movies coming out.
Yeah.
Passengers, Assassin's Creed... I don't know. I might be missing something else there that's coming out this winter.
I think we are, and it's kind of huge. But even with that, looking toward the future with Episode 8, this has come. All right, it's amazing. Episode 8. President Lucasfilm states we'll probably be seeing Episode 8 trailer within the next few months.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
Gonna happen.
He's like, it's in the spring it's going to happen because...
Dude, I'm still planning to go to Star Wars Celebration, and I'm really hoping they drop it there.
It'll probably be before.
So it'll be April.
It'll be in March.
No, not going to happen. April. I'm going to see it first, Eric.
I bet you won't. I bet you I'll see it before you.
You bastard. Anyway.
All right, man.
Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. I know we're way, way long on this episode. Who knows? I might cut it down and maybe get it to our average time of an hour, but I doubt that. But I'm really excited about Rogue One. If you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about, maybe you don't have close immediate friends who like all this nerdy stuff, because I know I was in that situation for a long time. Like, I love this stuff and I didn't have necessarily anybody to talk to about it. So man, I love talking about it. I can talk about it all day, which is a problem. But if you have nobody else to talk to, maybe just want to like shout out a couple of other things. Maybe you disagree with a couple of points that we made. Maybe you agree wholeheartedly and want to let us know. Tweet at us. We're at Kenobi's Corner on Twitter, twitter.com/Kenobi's Corner. You can find us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Kenobi's-Corner. Drop a comment in the comment section. We are pretty good about seeing those and responding back. So even though we've only ever had a couple, like, it'd be nice to see one come up. And we can definitely have a discussion about this and anything else you guys want around sci-fi comics, even life in general, if you guys really want to. But just to let you know, we're out there. Other than that, thanks for hanging out. Find us on iTunes and Google Play and any other podcasting platform that you can think of. If we're not there, tweet at us. We'll do our best to try to get on that platform as well. Other than that, thanks for all the fish.
Later.